With a chef as my father, I got to see cuisine at an early age. There's early moments that I was like the aha, the wow, oh my God. Those are the things that wine can bring to the table that food just kind of, it craves it. It's this perfect marriage, but at the same time, when it's done right and it's pulled off the best way, it's like, watching a rocket ship take off. It's pretty amazing. Wine pairing is like a yin and yang. It's like you got this amazing bite and you want to enjoy that experience, and then you have an amazing wine that shows you this other element to the whole dish, and it now becomes something that is joyous and beautiful.
Pairings are also a subjective thing because palates are subjective. So there are some rules and guidelines of pairing. I find that most of the guidelines and pairing rules that people think they have to follow are incorrect.
There's no rule book to pairing. I mean, there are classic pairings, especially if we're talking about pork and Pinot, pork and Riesling, but I think you should always just enjoy what you like to drink with what you like to eat.
Any fried or potato thing with champagne is just like, if no one's had that transcendental pairing experience, you have that and you're like, why is this so good together?
Champagne and McDonald's French fries, it just blew my mind. I had never tried. I had heard of the idea, obviously, of like bubbles and effervescence, and then the hot, fattiness and the salt, and the two of them working together. Thought it would be really cool, but never thought of like the ultimate McDonald's with, in her case, crude Grand Cuvée. And so I splurged and had the $200 bottle of Grand Cuvée with the $2 grand, jumbo size order of, McDonald's French fries.
Champagne and oysters. Hands down, champagne and oysters, or champagne and fried chicken, because it's amazing.
Blanc de Blanc champagne and southern fried chicken.
Champagne and everything, I think, is pretty spectacular.
A really nice dry manzanilla and like the calamari Reno.
Madeira or sauternes with oysters.
Breast chicken, in Burgundy with some Chambol or with just any Burgundy wine.
Classic wine pairings, I would say, foie gras and a sauterne or a Côte de Lion, something that's sticky, that has this beautiful bouquet of white and yellow flowers, shows you the acidity, and that cuts through the richness of foie gras, kind of like we're doing with the pork. You got this rich pork that's decadent, and then you're throwing some red wine that has some berries to it, has some acidity to it, has some tannin, and it cuts away through it.
So 5 of the city's top somms are here today. They've been given a month to figure which wine will go best with all this heritage breed pork. Some are bold, some are bubbles, some are red, some are white.
The wine I'm bringing is Corta Ora's Franciacorta. It is a champagne style wine in that it's made in a similar method to champagne. You have really wonderful citrus notes. It's got a gorgeous richness and creaminess too that comes through from the yeast. There's a tiny bit of an Italian dried herb note, sage and oregano, that lingers in the background, and just a minerality and almost salinity, and all of those come together really beautifully. It's from northern Italy, and there are a few things that I think make Franciacorta really exciting. One of them is the aging rules are actually longer than that for champagne, and that's what adds a tremendous amount of character, complexity, and all the delicious flavors into sparkling wine, is that secondary aging.
Pairing with food is really about just knowing your cuisine, knowing your chef, and then also knowing the wine. But ultimately, the pairing is about the guest. If I pair something that they're not really feeling, then that's on me and not the guest. So I think learning the guest first, and then knowing the wine and knowing the cuisine is the start of the pairing. And I think that is a real challenge for a sommelier.
You start with those textbook ideas, and those can just be, does this have enough fruit for that? Does this have enough acid for that? Does it have enough structure for that? And so, but you don't have to think this grape with that, and so you're kind of building off of what you've already had, but making sure that this wine that you've tasted kind of measures up to that food in your mind.
I think, when you ask a sommelier, do you love what you do? And it's pretty easy to see it, right away. And that's the beauty of our industry. We've got great opportunities to do many other things, but we've all chosen this path for a specific reason. and it's to share the love of wine and passion for cuisine.